And I've always liked to walk and think about things, but most recently I've reflected on the class of 2020 and the education that our children are receiving today and the challenges they're facing are much more significant than anything we ever experienced. After 35 years of watching different classes graduate and different generations evolve, education today is an incredibly complex experience for our children. It really is. When I was growing up, we lived 6 blocks away from the high school, and we would walk to it and walk back from it, and that was our neighborhood, that was our world, that was our orbit. Today's students, their neighborhood is the world. They can connect with somebody across the globe with the click of a button. This class of 2020 has everything going for them because they've had parents behind them, they've had the community behind them, they've had experiences with education that are really unparalleled, and along the way, they had roadblocks put up in front of them. Adversity is the first step in moving forward, because adversity can be used to motivate you, it can be used to inspire you, it can be used to make you a better version of yourself. It's interesting how time brings you back to places. I remember September 11th, 2001, when I was the principal at Niwot in my first year at Niwot High School. This class of 2020, most of them being born at the same time, people were experiencing what they were experiencing with 9/11. The level of uncertainty, the level of anxiety, the threat from around the world. It changed our country, it changed our world. Everybody's going to experience challenge in their life. And it's not whether you can prevent the challenge from happening, it's how do you respond to the challenge. In 2008, we walked head on into the Great Recession. At the time, it was the greatest recession since the Great Depression, and so you had to respond to that, because when it comes to the education of your children, you just can't throw your hands up and say, oh well. Because the students, they didn't do anything wrong. They were victims of errors made by adults. We built a coalition, teachers, students, parents, business leaders, elected officials, everybody coming together to say, we've got to look at education in a different way. We created a different sense of purpose around this educational system for our children. We did become a more focused system, and we became a more streamlined system, and we became really clear on our priorities. And that was in concert with all of these technology changes that were taking place around 2007, 2008. So the timing was perfect to make a shift in terms of what education was going to look like. That was the same time that this class, they were now leaving kindergarten. There was a lot of talk around, so what's the world going to look like when these children graduate from high school with all of this stuff that's changing at a pace that was hard for anybody to wrap their heads around it. We had a commitment to them that we had to keep, that we're going to give you a great education. And so we had to make a lot of hard decisions, but they were all the right ones focused on our children. In order to achieve at a really high level, you have to have experienced some adversity along the way. Our kids in this graduated class have sure experienced their share of it. 2009, we went through the H1N1. There were millions of cases across the world. And it was one of those times when you realize just overnight how vulnerable you could become as a human race. And you talk about health scares. We've gone through a series of years where we hear about school shootings. I know that it's been hard on our students emotionally. This graduating class would have been in middle school at the time of the 2013 floods. The teachers did a heroic job. The students were incredible. Fortunately, we were able to come back around and keep moving forward. So they've not only overcome all of this adversity, but they've reached levels of achievement that are unprecedented. It used to be you would read a chapter, prepare for your unit exam, you'd get 8 or 9 questions, you'd try to memorize what you read, you'd respond and you'd get your grade. Now it's about, can you empathize a problem? Can you ideate a solution? Can you prototype it, test it? Can you come back and revise it? Can you work together in teams? Can you communicate what you're thinking? Do you have the perseverance to stick with it until you can find the solution? And can you predict what might be coming next? And then when things change, can you change? Or are you stuck within that one chapter of that one textbook? Can you change? That's how learning has shifted. Look at what we're dealing with today. We're calling on the scientists who went through our public schools to solve this major health crisis. They didn't anticipate it, they didn't plan for it, they didn't invite it, but they have to solve it. And that's what public education has equipped them to do. And that's why when people talk to me about public education, why are you so invested in this? Because it's everything. It's about the economy, it's about our public safety and national security, it's about our health, it's about our property values, it's about the service that it's about everything. It's about our people. You have to see it in that way to really understand the complexity and the importance of it. And this is what our children are being prepared to do. And this class will knock it out of the park. Because they've not only had the educational experience, they've had the adversity. And the combination of those two things, the resilience, the capacity to overcome, to problem solve, it was not easy. And the fact that they had those challenging situations thrust upon them through no fault of their own, and they chose to overcome them and keep moving forward. You see it in the results that they've achieved. It's not just me and my opinion. You see the academic results. You see the athletic results. You see the music results. You see the performing arts. You see the citizenship. You see it all, and the data is there. You know, I wish these kids could know how much pride they have given me to watch them just do these amazing things. These are the things that will take this generation, and they will lead in ways we never could. And they will solve problems we couldn't solve. And I am 100% confident about that. And that's why I think we're all going to have a lot of opportunity to celebrate this class in the years to come, because we're going to hear about them, we're going to read about them, and we're going to end up thanking them for what they end up doing for our community and beyond. To the class of 2020, thank you for everything that you've done, your hard work, your dedication, your commitment, your compassion. I feel very privileged and honored to have been able to work with you and to watch you do the amazing things that you've done. I am extremely proud of you, and I wish you all the very, very best in life. Take care, and good luck. It's a really, really powerful, incredible class.